Right, guys, listen up, please. I'm only saying this once, so pay attention. No one is leaving. No one. This is a great team. It's a great club. It's going places, and you're all going to be a part of it until I say otherwise. Look at me. I projected Arsenal, defending European champions, Barcelona, Milan, Juventus. They've all come in for me. I'm staying, and so are you, till I say you can bugger off. What's that, Beyonce? Oh, you're disappointed you couldn't join Spurs. What, are you sick of winning trophies, are you, mate?
Synger sammen til segerstråpen Maltan Grindavik. Og jeg vet, vi vattnen ger I dag.
Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Grindavik on The Impossible Dream. It is Season 12, Episode 10 today. We have Arsenal away and then RB Leipzig at home in the Champions League. We have, by all intents and purposes, already qualified for the knockout round. It's not mathematically done yet, but we have 11 points. That's always enough. What we could do today is take a big step, or we'll find out, because the last two group games are going into the top 8 and then getting a bye into the round of 16, and that would be something, wouldn't it, if we could manage that. But unfortunately, we come back January 24th. The January window is opened in continental Europe, and the January curse has struck again. Look at club atmosphere. It's taken an absolute hiding. We've got players that want to leave. And the difference between other times when this has happened in previous seasons is there's a lot of meetings that players want to talk to me about not letting players leave, and they're being really mean to me. Actually, they're just foot down, like they're not listening. They don't want to be talked to out of it. So yeah, it's a little bit problematic. Now, if we do go and have a quick look at finances, they don't look fantastic either. We are in the red for the first time, I think, in certainly the recent history. We've gone into the red. Now, it's not the end of the world because we know I think it's 8 million we get for playing in the first knockout round of the Champions League. So that's going to put us back up where we need to be. In all likelihood, we will need to sell somebody, but that's we're almost going to have to do that anyway. You'll see FFP is in the red again. Now, projected period is 11.5 and we're allowed 4.3. So again, not looking great. Yeah, I think we've just maybe overspent a little bit. Now, part of that overspend, if we go and have a look at the board, is this stadium expansion has been agreed upon. So we're expanding again. We've just expanded it once. We're going to be expanding it again. And that is going to put us up to, I think it's 13,000 or just over 13,000. In terms of capacity, it's going to cost us 4.4 million. So that is good. Well, our training facilities, they're not state of the art anymore. They've been downgraded, but the board won't do that again. They won't sort of re-upgrade them back to where they were because of the club's financial situation. So yeah, it's not fantastic, but it's not great. And given the circumstances, I've spent 7 million on a left back. But it's a known left back. It's Giacchini. We had an option to buy him for 7 million in the loan, and so I did it. I thought we could already valued it almost twice that. It seemed like a good deal to do, and yeah, so he has become a Grindavik player permanently, and we obviously then have the option to sell him. You know, if we can get the double the money, then that's absolutely fine. Is he the greatest left back in the history of football? No. Is he solid enough for what we need right now? I think absolutely he is. So yeah, he has joined us in leadership and determination. These best attributes might be a captain or vice captain in the next season or two there as well. So yeah, that has happened as well. But anyway, let's have a look at what we're doing here in the football. A quick update of the table. Now we have the Wednesday game now, so some other teams have already played. You'll see 12 points have already qualified. We have 11, so it's not mathematically done yet, but realistically we are through. Arsenal away. Now Arsenal are currently down here in 23rd. So if we can take anything, they are the defending champions, let's not forget. But if we can take anything from them, they've only won one game. That was away to Real Sociedad. Now we got a draw at Real Sociedad. They drew Benfica at home. We drew Benfica away. So there's a little bit there to suggest that there might be half a chance for us. And of course, the other game is RB Leipzig. Now they have 3 wins, 3 draws. So they're going to be tough, but they are at home. So we'll see what we can do against them when we get there. But yeah, realistically, I'd say we probably need 4 points, wouldn't we? 15 points might get us in the top 8. Obviously, we'll see when we get there, but let's see what we can do against the defending champions. And we are expecting a 4 3 out of them, and this is the team that we are sending out. Now, we do have 1 or 2 injury concerns as well. Volpez is suspended, not necessarily an injury concern. Conde, though, has injured himself, so he's going to miss both these last 2 games, which is not great. Injured himself in a friendly as well, which is always frustrating. But we've come back from our off-season break, and we're not looking too bad in terms of match sharpness here for these players. So Rafferson in goal, Giacchini, Majuros, Degon, and Juleson fills in at right back for us. It's Jonsson dropping in to play the Conde role. Arneson comes in to play in midfield. The other thing that has happened, actually, I should tell you, is international competitions. So we currently do not have... a little bit on here that Obot is away, as is Sema, as is Bakali. So African Cup of Nations and the Asian Cup are going on right now. So we're without those 3. Bakali and Sema are a bit of a loss. Obot is just a backup anyway. Milosevic, Beyonce, and Kruzliak will be the front 3. And yeah, let's see what we can do against the defending champs. Alright, so we can see the team sheets here. There's still quite a few Arsenal players that are there, aren't there, in that lineup. Now, of course, Stanojevic, we signed him from Arsenal, so he'll know a little bit about them. And but yeah, there's a lot of actual real players, considering we're 12 years in. Maybe a little bit surprising. Alright, we're on a good run. Let's keep that going, shall we? Let's go with that. Yeah, you can see Milosevic, Beyonce, the 2 wide players for this one, are 2 of the unhappy players. But yeah, one of the really frustrating things is that our transfer value of our players seems to have absolutely crashed just sort of when the season sort of reset, when we had our off-season break, which has happened since, obviously, last episode. And, like, so Degan is valued at now at, like, 8 million. And we were getting 40-odd million bids for him, you know, like, in the summer. So... Beyonce's another one, you know, he was valued at 20-odd million, and we're getting bids of like 2 and 3 million, and it's these bids that are making them unhappy. And it's like, well, I'm not going to sell you for that, because clearly, for whatever reason, you're being undervalued right now by the game, and I'm hoping anyway it'll go back up before we have to sell. But not that we have to sell, but realistically, it sort of looks as though it's coming towards that. But yeah, so it's that sort of a double frustration in a way, that not only do I not want to sell them, if I'm going to sell them, I want to make sure I'm getting sort of a max value for them, as Rafferson claims that. If you're wondering why Puwal's on the bench, he's not fit. One of the backup goalkeepers I played in the under-20s. I should tell you, the under-20s are doing okay. The table's really close. I've been meaning to update you on them every episode, to be honest. I keep forgetting to do it. Because their games are at weird times. They're not sort of right before the senior games. They've been sort of happening usually afterwards, so I forget to tell you. But in this occasion, it's happened beforehand. So I think what's happening is that if you're playing, the seniors are playing on the Wednesday, the under-20s are on the Tuesday, and then vice versa. So, because this is the first game we've had, as Juleson gets beaten in behind by Martinelli, who rolls it in the back of the net. And, have we paid a price for not having Volpez at right back there? Juleson tried to nick it off him, didn't he? And just couldn't quite get it done. He's actually got to it first and just kicked it into him. And Rafferson, you wonder if Puwal may have made a better save attempt at that as well. So 1-0 down. And we'll have to keep trying here. Yeah, we've not had much possession. I wonder if we lower our tempo down to try and achieve that. We'll encourage them. Yeah, this is last season we didn't get. I don't think it was as bad with the January window. The season before that was quite difficult, and I think we've got a similar situation this season where it's been odd. Milosevic might get to that, not quite. Yeah, it is looking a little bit devastating right now. But the good news, of course, is that we've got our points on the board already. This game we can use as a little bit of a warm-up almost for the RB Leipzig game. And yeah, we can go from there. That is an own goal. Is it offside? It's Saka that has got the goal. I mean, he is quick. I tend to think goal. Yeah. And well, they're doing this in wide areas, aren't they? Ball goes in. And Giacchini did his best, but just wasn't quite good enough. I wonder, looking at their at their sort of their, what's it called, like the match report. I can't think what the word, like scouting report that you get before the game's only just on, isn't he? It suggested that we should be trapping them inside, but since they had inside forwards, I thought we try and trap them on the outside. But I think we'll go back to what sort of the initial plan was. But it might be too late for that now, unfortunately, because we are 2-0 down at half-time, away from home. Yes, it's the defending European champions, but still not really good enough, is it? I think Kruzliak had a heavy match load for some reason. I'm not sure why, because he didn't really play many friendlies in the warm-up to get everybody fit. Let's give it a couple of seconds here to see how we go. We'll go attacking because, yeah, we just really want to try, and let's try a fire up. Everybody looks motivated, so that's good. Though maybe too motivated. We've given away a free kick. Is it Odegaard or Reina? Odegaard to take it. It is off the crossbar, and it's back, and it's 3-0. And I think we just make some wholesale changes here right now. So we'll bring Dafna on for Majuros. Julison's having a nightmare, but we don't really have anybody for him. Kruzliak, I said I'd take him off. Arneson's not having a great game in there. Yeah, I do think we've been shown up to be maybe a little thin in midfield here, although we are missing a couple of the better midfielders anyway. Oh, Jesus, this is getting out of hand now, isn't it? Arneson can come off. Who have we got there? All right, so we'll bring Gisarasen on, and we'll move Jonsson forward. But this looks the performance of a team that aren't particularly happy right now, doesn't it? And that is obviously very, very disappointing and troubling as well. Let's try a berating. I don't know if screaming at them louder is going to do any good. Milosevic, you can come off, mate, for Kosh. Yeah. I don't really know. I mean, Degen's not had a great game again. I mean, not really much has gone right here, has it? It's, hopefully you'll get to that. Not quite. I wonder if it's one of these we can just kind of look to ride it off. I mean, that is some good play, but in the end, we've got away with it. And we could... Oh, Baltinson was in then, was he not? It was a really good sort of first-time pass from Beyonce, even just to see that was an option. But anyway, that might have been a highlight for us, but that was fairly pathetic, wasn't it? Yes, it's away from home. Yes, it's against the defending champions, but we didn't even put up a fight. So that pretty much dashes any chance of the top 8, which was maybe ambitious of us anyway. But of course, the higher up we can finish, we will then go and face someone down the other end of the spectrum. So we could get, I mean, I think we probably feel we could do Benfica over 2 legs, don't we? Ajax, a Celtic. We'll get Barcelona knowing our luck. But you know what I mean? I think we feel like we could probably beat one of the teams that are down there. So we just want to finish up as high as we can, and RB Leipzig is next. So youthful Grindavik come unstuck. We have officially qualified for the knockout round, so that's brilliant. Obviously, that is brilliant. We're looking at a few of the players for the Icelandic squad, which wouldn't have done themselves any favours there. But guys, wait right there. RB Leipzig next, final group game at home. Let's see what we can do there. Alright, welcome back. It is now time for you to vote on your Viewers Player of the Year for this season. I want to thank everybody who nominated some players, and what we've done is we had obviously more than 4, so we've taken the guys with the highest average match rating, and that has been sort of the tiebreaker to get down to the 4 nominees. So in alphabetical order, the first man is Damien Allmarkson. So good in the league for us this season. 8 goals, 1 assist, and an average match rating of 7.78. The next man is Mr. Baltinson. He has been brilliant, hasn't he? King of the Academy. 27 goals, 4 assists, an average match rating of 7.96. The third nominee is one of the new boys. It is Kruzliak. Oh, what a season he's had. 34 goals, 4 assists, an average match rating of 8.61. And the final nominee is another of the new boys, Milosevic, 14 goals, 20 assists, and an average match rating of 8.15. So as ever, the way to do this, there'll be a link on top of the description down below. Click on that, it'll take you through to a straw poll, and vote for who you think has been our best or your favourite player this season, and we will announce the winner at the end of season awards, hopefully many episodes away yet. We're going on a little bit of a European run here, but first things first, we've got to play RB Leipzig and see who we're going to be facing in the first knockout round. And I say in the first knockout round because it is now not possible for us to be able to get into the top 8. This is the final day of games, the Wednesday games. We have 11 points. 8th currently has 15, so obviously we can't do it. But what we can do with 3 points, now RB Leipzig are only a point behind us here, but we can sort of move ourselves up and avoid the likes of a Chelsea, Arsenal, Napoli, Real Madrid, Inter, etc. Or we can drop or we can drop down and we can, we sort of be in amongst these guys. So I think we'd rather be looking at a Porto, a Copenhagen, a Benfica, someone like that, than one of the teams that is above us. So we really do want to try and win this just to help us go a little bit further. Now, speaking of going further, as I segue my way through things here, we have the under 18s or 19s going on to the knockout rounds as well. They beat RB Leipzig 5-1, comprehensive, to make sure they got through, and they needed that result. Without the win, they wouldn't have done it. So the likes of Barcelona, Paris, Marseille, Inter, Liverpool. Look at these academies that haven't gotten through. Bayern as well, Chelsea, Porto. It was a really strange competition so far this season, but they've got through. And let's hope, well, we are going to join them in the knockout rounds as well, the senior team. But let's hope we can do it in a little bit of style here with a win. So it is a 4-2-3-1 that we are expecting. Now, we haven't got any new fresh injury concerns, I don't think. Oh, no, we do. Arneson was injured. Where is he here? Arneson. Condé is... I've accidentally promised Condé I'd sell him as well. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but... I think my mouse is on the way out because I click and it doesn't quite work sometimes, and then it double clicks. So I'm going to blame the mouse and not myself. But yeah, I've accidentally promised to sell him, so we'll see what happens there. But anyway, Rafason will be the goalkeeper for this one. It's Giacchini, Mazuros, Degen, and Volpez back from his suspension. Gisarasa, now I don't know that I want you as a ball playing. Let's just stick you in there as a defensive midfielder. Yeah, I kind of want you to bomb on Jonsson, and then we're going to have Raul as a advanced playmaker, but maybe on support because he's a better passer, not that good at the finishing. So yeah, we'll try that. Kosh comes into play on the right. Milosevic is sulking, so he can sit on the bench and sulk there. Beyonce is also sulking. We don't really have anybody else to play on the left-hand side, so he has to kind of do it. And Bouterson's going to go up front. I've not been completely impressed, if I'm honest, with Kruzliak. He has scored a couple of goals, but look at that those match ratings recently. Not fantastic. So we're going to give the Academy King a chance to play in Europe. Alright, so do we recognise any of the names on that team sheet? I don't think so. There's a couple of guys there that we've scouted, but no one that we've had before. Now they are managerless as well, so I'm not sure what's going on with that one. I want to see a marked improvement from all of you tonight. I mean, I think we've got to say that, don't we? It really wasn't good versus Arsenal. It was, in fact, just massively disappointing. Alright, and here we go. At home, we know we're a strong side at home. I'm pretty sure we've beaten RB Leipzig, and we've certainly drawn them. And possibly it was our first, because our first season we got out of the Champions League and we into the knockout rounds. And I thought it was going to be an relatively easy thing, but as it turns out, the draw is just very important. Who you play. Looks like we're at the National Stadium as well. That's possibly down to the new Grindavik Stadium being renovated and expanded for the second time this year. You think you'd just do it all in one, wouldn't you? Surely it would be cheaper. But anyway, let's hope we're much better here. We need to be, don't we? We really do need to be. I've done my best doing the old tricks of praising conduct and training and trying to build up morale a little bit. It's still not fantastic, but hopefully it'll come back for us a little bit here as Degen tries to keep the ball alive for us. And what we don't need to do is get caught on the break here. Kosh wins it back to Volpez. Jonsson back to Volpez. Degen, Gissaras, and hopefully he does a good job in there for us. I think we are definitely a little thin in midfield, aren't we? You sort of see, oh, it's not a good pass by Mazuros. And are we going to pay a price for that mistake? You have a very bad feeling about this, don't you? There's the shot, but Rafason is equal to it. And there we go. I mean, I think if you look at the team too, we are missing. You know, we don't have necessarily our first choice goalkeeper in. Conde is missing, but Carly is missing as well. So we're missing two of our sort of first choice midfielders. I don't think we can probably claim Seema because he hasn't played that much in Europe, but that is just wide. Let's encourage them. So we're not a team that has incredible depth, obviously. Financially, we can't afford incredible depth at this point. Hopefully that will improve with time. But, yeah, the signs are slightly troubling here that we're second best again, despite this being a bit of a home game and whatnot. Now, I'm wondering with the pitch as well, if we want to maybe change it offside. I hope maybe I'm seeing what I want to see there and not what actually happened. It always happens, doesn't it? The last couple of games when we come back from the winter break, or it's actually our off-season, not the winter break, we always look a little rubbish. I mean, that's a very good finish. I don't know, we can blame Rafferson too much for that. The difference, I think, this season is just simply the fact that we got our work done and we'd already qualified. All right, Beyonce, get off, mate. I'd rather have a kid that doesn't know how to play football on than at least he'll try. Now, I wonder, they were a little bit more attacking, how they would feel about us sticking a number 10 in, or maybe 2 up front. That might be offside. We look an absolute shambles at the back, though, don't we? And we've done the defensive training as well. We're pleading. Yeah. Pray, boys. Pray. Pray to your VAR gods. It has been disallowed. All right. That keeps us at least in the game. Yeah, no, it's a mile off. It's not even close. Actually, it was earlier on in the play. Let's encourage them. Can we get ourselves level before half-time? Gisarasen for Kosh. We go back for Degen to Gisarasen. Raul. There's a good ball for Baltinson. Baltinson's in around the goalkeeper. The defence gets back. Oh, and that was so nearly us level at the break, wasn't it? So, XG, my old friend, says that we've been the better team there. Yeah, my mouse is definitely not quite... I'll have to get a new one, I think. Alright, so what do we say? We've defended well, I'm happy. Where's the unlucky one? Yeah, you know you've got the ability to make the difference. Go out there and prove it. Let's go and give it some fist pumps and... Yeah, Pete Baltinson's not been particularly good. Alright, so Gisarasen's not having a great game anyway. Let's go with 2 up front. You can go as a deep-lying playmaker, which is arguably his better position anyway. Kruzliak as a complete forward. What's he like as a... He doesn't have a good work rate. He's not the best, is he? What about Baltinson? Baltinson could go as a deep-lying forward. Okay, so let's switch you guys around. And you can go on attack. And yeah, I mean, I think we've got to just have a bit more of a go at them here, don't we? So we'll try this, see if it works. Hopefully it works. Let's go attacking as well. Let's encourage them. Try and be positive. And yeah, just hope that we can pull something off here. Baltinson is now officially having a nightmare, which is not great. Here we go with Kosh, though. Kosh! Oh, there was a save. We signed Kosh from RB Leipzig, I think, didn't we? I think we might have. He's going to take a corner here. Can he find a header tethered away? Giacchini is there. Volpez gets it wide, but nothing doing. Encourage again. As things stand, we are 19th and facing one of the big boys. Can we get ourselves at least level? Let's try a demand more. That's not really worked how I would have liked. All right, we're getting increasingly desperate here, aren't we? If we lose by 1 or 2, it doesn't really matter. I mean, look at this. Milosevic disenchanted. Julison nervous. Is it a game for Allmarkson? It's not working for you, mate. So let's take him off. Allmarkson can go in there. You can go as an Ongonch, attacking midfielder. Let's get you going forward there a little bit. And just see what happens. I wonder if we give it a calm down since we're anxious and all that kind of stuff. No, that's not worked either. Oh, it's been a disaster. It's been an absolute disaster. We've lost at home. Arguably, we shouldn't have. But we look a poor side again, don't we? We look at the team spirit shot, and I don't really know how to fix it quickly. So we end up in 19th. Is that going to be... That's going to be a Chelsea or maybe Arsenal again, isn't it? Napoli... No, it's not. It's too far down, I think. I think it's Arsenal again or Chelsea. We'll find out momentarily here anyway. Alright, so yeah, Kosh, we did sign him from there. So he suffers defeat against his former club. We've got a little bit of money extra coming in from coefficient stuff. So that'll help a little bit. But... yeah, we need the transfer window is going to close momentarily here. What we basically need is for that to close and then players to start and be happy again. So, well, we'll find out momentarily who we've got in the next round. Just hold there. All right, so we have the Champions League knockout draw here. Let's it always takes forever, doesn't it? But anyway, let's see what we can do here. Let's advance. Barcelona is going to play Napoli. Rennes is going to play Inter. Udinese is going to play RB Leipzig. That could have been us. Villarreal is going to play Sassuolo. Benfica is going to play Arsenal. So I think that means we get Chelsea. Marseille. I tell you what, that could have been a lot worse. Now, Marseille are a decent team that have signed some good players. But I think if we look at that, we will very much consider ourselves to have got away with two really, really disappointing performances to win the group stage. That could have been so much worse. And I'd almost go as far as to say if we can pick ourselves up, we're a chance of getting through that. But let me know what you think. It will be Marseille next episode. And like I say, we just need to keep going, don't we? Get back to where we were. The transfer window, it's 5th of Feb, so transfer window in Europe has closed. We have kept players. What we haven't necessarily kept yet is some happy players, but let's hope that will start to turn around now that the window is closed. And we're going to do some... you can see the atmosphere is improving a little bit. We're doing some team bonding. We're just trying to start talking to each other again. We're going through club counselling. Hopefully, it's all going to be fine. But anyway, if you've enjoyed that for some reason, make sure you hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to go and vote for your Viewers Player of the Year. Marseille next. I think we can. This just needs to get a little bit better, doesn't it? Take care.